concerns about needing to be re-reviewed.
Go on.
And that game is this little game called Forza Horizon 6.
Oh, yeah.
Josh, so obviously things have started to come out about Forza Horizon 6, and I know you are staying pretty dark. You're not like really consuming much on it because you already know you're going to get the game.
Yeah, they put out a video. I didn't watch it, but the title and the length of it suggests it's like the whole prologue mission.
Yeah.
Which is like one of the best parts of Forza Horizon games is like the intro to the festival where they have you do like all the different types of like car game mode kind of things you'll be doing in the game. And it's typically like against a giant other vehicle or chasing a plane or something. Like, okay, yeah, let's just spoil it. Let's put the whole video out before the game even comes out.
Oh, well, goodness. Some people that'll push them over the edge,
I guess,
into buying it. So are you saying though, and this is maybe, I don't know, this is probably potentially problematic now, I guess, but are you saying that Forza Horizon is basically like the Baby Driver of video games, that the very best part of the game is the very first like 6 minutes?
I think Baby Driver is a very good movie. So
I actually do as well, but I do think the opening is extremely strong.
Yes, it's probably like anything. Even like The Italian Job has a big gone on 60 seconds. All these car movies, they have to have the thing that pulls you in.
Right.
So
and it apparently extends to the video games of cars that involve cars too.
I mean, certainly that's what Forza Horizon 3's opening is really what got me even into the series in general. Because I just assumed it was another version of Forza that I wasn't interested in.
Right.
So then I was like, they were like chasing like hovercrafts. I was like, holy crap, that looks so cool.
And who doesn't want to chase a hovercraft?
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. So Josh, then the important question, I know you haven't really looked at it, but what are the chances? Let's say on a scale of 1 being, we'll say 1 to 100.
Yeah.
What's the percent chance that Forza Horizon 6 is your game of the year?
Yeah, that's tough. Game of the year is tough.
I know.
I mean, I don't know. I think Forza Horizon 5 was my game of the year. The year it came out. No, was Control the same year?
I think. Oh man,
I don't know that I've had a Forza Horizon game be my game of the year, but I think 5 would have come close. Or maybe 4.
So Forza Horizon 5 was 2021.
Okay. If only I had this archive I could look at right here. Oh, I don't have it by year.
Top 10. Ghost of Tsushima, Marvel Spider-Man.
Okay. Yeah. So
Outer Worlds.
It wasn't number 1.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's probably slim.
Oh, Hades. That's why.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
I was like, what would it have been? Yeah, Hades probably.
Yeah, I think it's a slim. It probably won't be my number 1. I think if we're talking percentage wise, I give it 20% chance of being game of the year.
Wow, 20%.
I give it 100% chance that it'll be in my top 5.
Okay.
But I mean, I think, I don't know. I don't want to say it as negative, but I want to be like, well, if it's number 1, it's a slow narrative year, which is certainly possible. But I think like Saros and we have some other surprises coming.
Yeah.
I think that it's likely not.
So if Forza Horizon 6 is basically just Forza Horizon 5, but in Japan, will you be satisfied?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Because that's Forza Horizon 5 is basically 4, in Mexico instead. So, I'm happy with that.
Yeah. It does seem like they're adding a few new race types and things like that. So I do think there will be some new things there, but I don't know that it's kind of one of those things of, and obviously I'm not a huge car game person, but what I liked of Forza Horizon 5, I liked, but I don't know what else I'd want other than more of it.
Yeah, that's really what it's kind of like. Perfect is overused, but it's kind of like perfect where it needs, like perfectly sitting where it needs to be. As like, this is the game you expect. And it's like the Sims of racing games. Like everyone who gets a Sims expansion or a new Sims game, they know exactly what they're getting. And the formula doesn't really need to change. That's probably a bad comparison, but
I don't
think
know
of it
that.
formulaic, not necessarily themed.
Well, I'm just actually, now that you say that, I'm like, man, when are we going to get a new Sims game?
Right. Like when is Sims 5? Is it ever going to happen?
Because it's been, what, over a decade since Sims 4 came out, hasn't it?
At least, yeah, it
Yeah.
has to be.
Man, how have we not had a Sims 5? I know they've obviously done there's tons of expansions and additional content, obviously. I know that there's so much other stuff, but it's kind of shocking we haven't had a Sims 5, I feel like.
September 2nd, 2014.
There we go. Dang. Whew. Man, what were you doing in 2014, Josh?
I just got married.
There you go.
The year before.
Wild
So
how much
no
time has
kid,
passed.
no kid yet.
Yeah, indeed. But hey, listener, welcome to Board with Video Games. I'm Kyle Hyman. That's Josh Borboni. And we're thrilled you're joining us for our conversations we have related to games. As always, if you have any feedback or suggested topics, any of that good stuff, hit us up at boardwithvg@gmail.com or check out the Instagram, also boardwithvg. We are part of the Play Some Video Games podcast family, as well as the Dice Tower Network. So feel free to check out all of your video game and tabletop needs, respectively, between those two places. With that, Josh, what's something you'd like to talk about this week?
Oh, well, I stole your idea.
That's okay. We'll do it as one big idea.
Yeah, I stole your thing. Just want to talk about some games we've been playing. We did that a couple episodes ago too.
For sure.
Where do I start? Well, I'll start with I barely consider it tabletop now at this point because it's so casual. But we finally managed to stumble across a copy of Flip 7 with a Vengeance in the wild. Since it's been announced, it's always been sold out.
Yeah.
Where I've been looking. So we played last night. We played a couple of rounds last night. For anyone who has played Flip 7, it changes the modifier cards. So now you have a divided by. So you have to divide by 2 for your score. So all the modifier cards now are negatives instead of positives as far as the numbers. So it's divided by 2, and then it's like -10, -8, -6. I think -2. I'm not sure, but it's a few minuses, and then there's all new event cards. So you have swap cards. You can swap cards between any 2 players, including yourself and somebody. So you could essentially make 2 people lose at the same time for 1 round if you swap cards in that manner. There is a take a card, just a flat out take someone's card and take it for yourself. There's a discard a card and then freeze. So the player has to discard and then they're frozen. They added a Lucky 13 card. They also added the number 13. So the Lucky 13 lets you have 2 13s in play. If you have it. There's also a Unlucky 7. That does not allow you to have 2 7s, and it makes you shoot the 7. There's a 7 and there's a 0. One of them makes you discard all of your cards when you draw the other one. I think that's the 0. The 7 is you have to flip 7 to be able to score for that round. So it essentially gives you no score unless you flip 7. No second chance cards.
Yeah.
There's a flip 4 card instead of a flip 3.
Okay.
And all the cards in the modifiers can be played on any active player this time. So now you can give a -10 to somebody else instead of being stuck with it, which is a nice change.
So I think this begs the question.
Yeah.
Does this A, replace Flip 7? B, if somebody did not own a version of Flip 7, which version of Flip 7 would you recommend?
I still think the first version is the way to go.
Okay.
This is a little bit more mean, I guess.
Sure.
Or the potential to be mean. What we did talk about was getting another copy of each game and then taking those and combining them. And let that live as itself. and then have the other two, because I don't want to. I learned my lesson from Ascension. I don't want
Yeah.
to mix all the expansions in together. So this way, it's not an expensive game. So we pay $20 to get another Flip 7 with a Vengeance 7.
Yeah.
But I do like it. I do think it's fun. And it's nice for maybe like mixing it up if you've only been playing Flip 7.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it's cool.
Cool.
Yeah, I enjoy it. Yeah. What about you? And hit me with something.
So I can't remember. Have I talked about Dragon Keepers on the podcast?
I don't think so.
Okay, so Dragon Keepers is the most recent board game that we've been playing. It is also a very, very light hand management game. And in this game, you are basically trying to quote unquote herd dragons. So in the middle of the table is 2 stacks of cards. One of them has a number, and the other one has dragons on them. So you have so it'll be 6, and then you'll see a blue dragon, or it'll be 3, and you'll see a red dragon. On your turn, you have a hand of cards, and you are basically either taking cards. There's 3 cards laid out in front, as well as the 2 decks. You are either taking cards from the laid out cards and refilling with whatever's appropriate, or maybe it's just 2, 1 from each deck. It might be, but either way, it doesn't matter. So you're either taking 2 cards, and then after you've taken 2 cards, you can then play the cards in your hand. But to play cards, you have to play whatever the face up things at the top of the deck are. So if it says 3 blue, you have to play 3 blue dragons in front of you, and then you get kind of the benefit of whatever the number is always has. You can gain an extra card, or gain wild cards, or gain these different benefits, gain parts of crystals and kind of all this stuff, which is how you score points. But that's really all you're doing, is you're deciding how many cards you want to take, and then if you want to, you can play cards out at the end of your hand. The things to keep in mind, though, are number one, that let's say it says 3 blue and I play it. As soon as I play it, if my opponent can follow and play it, they also get to play.
Okay.
So it is kind of, you're opening up the possibility that your opponent could potentially play the same thing that you are. So that's one thing to keep in mind. The second thing to keep in mind is that there's 4 different colors of dragons. And after putting down the first 2 are pretty kind of straightforward, but once you put down your 3rd group of dragons, you can only ever play additional colors of the edge dragons. So let's say you have an orange and the blue, and then you put the white on the right hand side. If the blue's in the middle, you cannot play blue at all anymore. Blue is just done for you.
Wow.
So you have to kind of be thoughtful about am I really focusing just on a couple colors to start? How do I want to do this? The other wrinkle is that when it's your turn to play, you can lay down a card from your hand to modify the top decks. So let's say it says 3 blue, but you have 3 yellow, and you have an extra yellow dragon card. You could put the yellow dragon on top of the blue dragon on the deck, and now it says 3 yellow, and then you can play your 3 yellow.
Okay.
So it's a really light game. It's pretty straightforward. It only takes 20 minutes to play, but it's pretty compelling. It's kind of one of those, we talk about often, those games that are easy to teach, easy to learn, but offer interesting decisions.
Yeah.
And that's what I think this game does. And it's, we only ever have played it 2 players. I think it plays really well at 2. I think it might play better at 3 or 4. But it's a pretty inexpensive game. I think it's $30 retail, but you can find it on sale for $15-20 pretty regularly. And if you're really looking for just a approachable game that has some really nice, fun, cute art, good quality components that you can sit down and play in 20 minutes or so once you learn it, I think Dragon Keepers is an easy recommend. So
nice.
I don't think it's gonna be anybody. Well, I shouldn't say that. I don't think it's gonna be anyone's favorite game. I don't know that it's gonna be oh, everyone should absolutely play this game.
Yeah.
But I think if you're looking for something fun, easy, and straightforward to play, I enjoy Dragon Keepers. It's not a game we're gonna get rid of. It's definitely gonna stay in the rotation. So it's a pretty fun one.
Cool.
All right, Josh, what are some video games then that you've been playing, sir?
Well, we're revisiting Super Mario Wonder. I don't remember if I talked about this or not. I talked about it on Shack, though. So my son traded a bunch of games recently.
Mm-hmm.
He tried to trade in Mario Odyssey and Mario Wonder and all these games, and I was like, no. You don't trade these ones in. And he ended up trading in Mario Rabbids as well. And then I did let him trade that one in, and of course now he wants to play it again. So
of course.
when the Bella Bell Park DLC came out, or the upgrade, or
Mm-hmm.
whatever you want to call it, the new version for Switch 2.
Yeah.
Um, I upgraded our copy to get that to
Yeah.
play, and we started playing together. First, my son and I, and then we started playing me, my wife, and my son.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been playing that for a couple weeks or weekends, and the Bella Bell Park is pretty cool because it's a bunch of mini games, so it almost feels a little bit like Mario Party,
Gotcha.
or like Donnie mentioned, Nintendo Land, like mixed to the Mario Wonder game,
Yeah.
and it kind of mixes well in with the story. So we started a fresh save, and we're working our way through. It is funny getting to like higher difficulty levels
Sure.
with three people, especially when the map is moving you instead of you moving the map.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's a little chaotic with people dying constantly and having to revive each other. But it's been a lot of fun. It has been challenging some levels, and then I just say I apologize for what I'm about to do, and then I go and I beat the level,
Yeah.
not stopping for them at any points.
Yeah.
Um, but that's been a lot of fun. That's been a nice revisit, and do I think it's worth spending $80 for a new copy for the Switch 2? It's hard to say yes if you already have played this game,
Sure. Sure. Sure.
or have owned it before. But I'm pretty sure when Mario Wonder came out, I paid 70 for it anyways.
Mm.
So, do I think that the new map stuff is worth it? Yeah, I think that the new Bella Bell Park is nice, and then you also get new fights with the Koopalings, uh, and new levels. They're kind of like mini levels. It's just really a boss fight that you get
Gotcha.
out of it. But
Sure.
yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Gotcha. Awesome. Man, I still have not pulled the trigger on the Switch 2 yet, but we'll see. It
Yeah,
gets closer every day. Every day, I'm like a little closer to it. So
that's good, I think.
we'll see. I've been playing so much handheld stuff though that it does
Yeah,
feel like it's
it makes sense.
we're right there. We're right there. Um, well, as something that I will just talk about a couple things that I've been playing,
Yeah,
because they kind of go together. So I have like kind of bigger groups of games that I've
I
been
saw
playing.
that. Yeah,
So I will just talk number one about JRPG Corner. Josh, all of the RPGs that you talked about, like in February that you had been playing and started playing,
yeah.
that I don't think you're playing any of them
No.
anymore. But it inspired me. I was like, okay, I often fancy myself as an RPG player, but rarely do I ever dive very deep into them. But I've been playing a lot of handheld stuff lately, so I said, hey, let's go ahead. Let's see if there's a JRPG out there that I want to play. And on Steam on sale, I got Tales of Grace's F Remastered on sale. So I was like, hey, this is a game I've wanted to play. I wanted to pick it up when it came out like a year ago. Just have never got around to it. I've dabbled in the Tales games before, but I've never finished one. So I was like, hey, let's give this a whirl. I'm maybe 6 hours in at this point.
Okay.
I'm enjoying it. I think the challenge of these games always is that this is it's a remaster of an older game, and it is the all of the good and all of the bad of old JRPGs are present in this game, in the
Yeah.
sense that the maybe the dialogue things like that are not always exactly what I want. The story and what's going on, right? Like you start off as a kid, um, who is trying to like stand up to his mean old dad, and then some things happen, and he goes away to school to become a knight for like 7 years, and now he's like 19 coming
Yeah.
back to fix things, right? But there's very much that kiddie stuff at the beginning and some tropey things that are happening throughout. But with all of that being said, I'm enjoying it. I'm having a good time. I think the story is, though a little rote so far, it's enough to kind of pull you along. The combat in this game is really interesting in the sense of you kind of have two different arts that you can use, and depending on what button you use, and then you're kind of in some ways doing like almost like fighting game combos in the sense of it's like left stick and B, like left stick to the left and B is like one attack, but left stick and down and B is a different attack. So you're like kind of like putting these things together, and then you have, as you are chaining your attacks together, you have like additional, like, for lack of a better word, like power or funds you can use to like do different attacks. So it's like as you work your way up, like you're like kind of like you develop like combos basically that you're like, oh, if I do this like button combination and then this button combination, like I have like these nice little combos that like I can run from one into the other really nicely. So it is this kind of rhythmic thing, and you're kind of like dodging on the left stick as well, and you block, and it's interesting. What was quirky about it though is that, as with many of these remasters as of late, at the beginning of the game, they give you all of these like things to like streamline the experience for you to make it like easier, right? To
Yeah.
like one of them is like double damage, but then they also have like they also have double damage, but they also have 5 times damage. So you can have both of those on. But the problem is when you buy them, like, and it gives you enough like currency at the beginning to like buy all of these buffs. So it's like there's really, so I looked, I was like, am I not, should I buy these? Should I not buy these? And everyone's like, you can buy, you have enough money to buy everything, and then you can just choose what you want to turn on and what you want to turn off. I'm like,
Right.
oh, okay, well, I'll just buy them then, and then I'll turn off the things I don't want. The problem was I couldn't figure out how to turn them off for a really long time. I kept going into the menus to like look to find like where these darn things were, and I could never find them. And like literally, like battles would be like I would hit the enemy once, they would just die because
Yeah.
I had like double damage and 5 times damage on because I couldn't figure out how to turn it off. So it took me a little bit of time to get that squared away. But now that I've gotten it squared away, I have a couple things that are on. Like I'm getting XP a little faster, and I have like increased drop rates for some things, just to kind of smooth that a little bit. But otherwise, I'm enjoying it. So if you're looking for, I think I looked on how long to beat. I think it's like 30 to 40 hours for this game. So not a super long JRPG, but still a commitment. Runs super great on Steam Deck. So if you're looking and have a hankering for a JRPG that has a little bit of action to it, a little bit of kind of different feel, because as the Tales games do, Tales of Grace's F Remastered is great. And then on PlayStation, I've had this game for a long time, and I started it, but I never got very far, so now I'm back to it. I'm playing Ease 8 Lacrimosa of Donna. Um, I like the Ease games. I think they, again, some of the same challenges of JRPGs that sometimes things are a little tropey, things are a little, I don't want to say melodramatic, I guess would be the best way to put
Sure.
it. But I am enjoying this game. I started over, even though I had played a reasonable amount of it before, because I'm like, I'm not going to remember how to do anything. And
Yeah.
I immediately had to change the button mapping because like jump was on circle.
Ugh.
And I was like, nope, 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 nope,
It's
nope,
like
nope, nope.
every Switch game ever.
Yeah, jump is not a circle command. That is not where you jump. You do not, you jump on cross/X. That is where you jump.
Yeah.
So I had to remap it, which was good, but the problem is that all the tutorials still do everything in
Oh,
the
the
original
other way.
buttons. But easy enough to figure out. But easy again. I'm really enjoying the game. It is um it's kind of one of those things where you're like, okay, these are both kind of quote unquote action JRPGs, but like they feel very different to play.
Yeah.
They I think you could probably button mash through both of them if you really wanted to. But if you take the time to kind of peel back the layers and actually learn the battle systems, there's a lot going on here. And I like being on an island. Being on an island's cool. And at the beginning of the game, you get shipwrecked on an island, and you're kind of building a village,
Yeah.
and it's been great so far. So, I think it's also on one of the PlayStation Plus tiers. Well, I don't remember which one, but in the game catalog or whatever. But yeah, so if you're looking for another little bit of an older one, I wanted to play Proud Nordics when it came out in February, because Nordics came out last year, and then Proud Nordics, like the pay us more money for the same game but improved
Yeah.
version, came out in February, and I was like, we'll wait for that to go on sale, so we'll kind of go back to 8, and then I'll get back, and I think I own 9 as well, even though I've never started it. So maybe I'll work my way through those as well. But my little JRPG corner, Tales of Grace's F Remastered and Ease 8 Lacrimosa of Donna, both great, both recommended. If you have the time to play either of them, I think they're worth it. So
Nice. I will hit. So, still playing Diablo 4, but I do need a break from that every once in a while. And I know that the new content comes out next week. I think 24th, maybe, something like that.
dude, we're about to get into it with game releases. My
I know
gosh.
we got a few back to
Oh,
backs coming up.
yeah.
So I took a break. I played this demo for a game called Dice a Million. Every once in a while, I take a peek on Steam and see what the demos are. And I think this came out during the Next Fest as well. I just didn't try the demo. It's essentially like a Balatro type kind of game. And it's with dice, and you're buying new dice to roll, and you are getting cards to help boost your score. and you can wear rings that you can wear up to 10 rings on your hands that give you permanent perks like dice effects and things like that. So really, it's just kind of a nice play for a 20-30 minute, like kind of little nothing, not in a bad way, little nothing kind of game, as I hear myself saying it in such a negative way. It's a lot of fun. It's like, it was like 10 or $15, I think, on Steam. And yeah, you have access to it. So you should check it out. Okay. I kind of wish it would be even better on a phone. But I'm kind of glad it's not on phones, because when I had Balatro on my phone, it took up a lot of my free time.
Yeah.
At least on the Steam Deck, I am limited to battery because I try to play it without it plugged in. So I give myself a timer on when to stop, usually when the battery is dead. So yeah. And yeah, 2 other games, Toxic Commando, which we played together.
Yeah, we did.
I'll let you talk about that. And Crimson Desert, still, I'm getting into it. I'm in chapter 2 now, which a lot of silly things kept me from getting to where I needed to be, and mostly driven by me. But one of the things I did the other day was just walk completely south. I say walk because I didn't realize my horse could get exhausted.
Oh.
And it can no longer run unless I go to a stable or feed it. And I gave it an apple. That was the only thing I think that I had that I could give a horse. And it wasn't enough to heal my horse. So I can still call my horse, but he does not gallop. He just doesn't even trot. He just walks. So I'm like, oh, I can run at least. So I went straight down south. I hit the ocean. I hit a little harbor town, which I kind of love that it's just like there it is.
Yeah.
So a town maybe you never would find in a regular playthrough of the game. And I walked up to the shore, and sure enough, there was a rowboat sitting on the dock, and I was able to push it forward into the water and get on it. And I got on my rowboat, and I went to this little island that was out the ways. And when I pulled up there was a gang of fellows, and they were like part of like some type of like, not cult is the wrong word, but some type of group that like were like fish worshiper people or something. And I fought this like mini boss captain, and I got that helmet I shared in our Discord. I got a carp helmet, which is very funny. But it actually has a power, which I thought was really cool too. So it uses a spirit power on a like a reflexive. You hit circle after you dodge an attack, and it does a special move.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got back in my little boat, and I went over to a ship. There was just a pirate ship in the middle of the bay, and as I like rowed up towards it, there were these landmines in the water that were going off. Got on the ship that was shooting cannons at me.
Sure.
Killed all the crew. Fought another little mini captain boss who kicked my butt a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Took over the boat. I wasn't able to drive the boat. I was pretty disappointed in that. But got some treasure. Found a pirate hat, and the pirate hat leads me to treasure when I wear it.
Nice.
So just like super fun little adventures that I'm going off on my own, not progressing the story at all.
Sure.
And then I went, and then I was like, okay, time to progress the story. And I had realized I had sold some gear I got earlier in the game that I needed to get to a certain area that I kept getting pushed out of. So I got in there, and it did a big push story-wise. Like I got the flight ability now. It's more like a hover. And some more spirit abilities, and a tether where you can like launch a tether, and you can pull things with it. You can also use it to launch yourself off of a tree. Like I shot it to the top of a tree and pulled it backwards.
Gotcha.
Flung my character across the map. So yeah, having a lot of fun with Crimson Desert still. Continues to surprise me.
You're like the way you talk about the game and the things and the experiences you've had. To me, it's like it seems like everyone should want to play this game, right? Like it
Yeah,
just sounds so cool.
it is cool. I was telling my wife too while I was playing it. I'm like literally, I'm just walking up a stairway, like a staircase,
Uh huh.
and I'm not running. I'm not like mashing X, and I'm like, I think a lot of the appeal of this game is like, it feels like this is how they want you to play it, and it's
Right.
not punishing you for that.
Yeah.
Like, and it really does, like, for me, it captures like kind of what I wanted from like a Game of Thrones game.
Mm-hmm.
It like kind of captures that time.
Right.
And even though Crimson Desert has more like sci-fi aspects to it
Yeah.
potentially, it just feels like it's like meant to be slow, and
Mm-hmm.
you get rewarded for going slow because you find because of the way you have to pick up things, and sometimes they're like just so small and
Yeah.
you have to really look to find things.
Mm-hmm.
um like that helmet I found was like in between rocks in the ground, like in water. Like if I
Right.
wasn't paying attention, I would have totally missed it.
Yeah.
um so yeah, I'm enjoying, like, it's pretty great.
I'm glad you're enjoying it so much. That's good. That's so
Yeah,
awesome. The other, I guess, corner for me of games, other than then we'll talk about Toxic Commando. So just very briefly is just survivors games.
yeah,
In the vein of Vampire Survivors. Obviously, Deep Rock Galactic Survivor, I have been singing the praises of for since it released the 1.0 at the end of towards the end of last year. I think I am almost at 100 hours in that game now.
wow,
Yeah, so
nice.
I'm pushing that game pretty hard, but I want to make sure that I have a broad understanding of the survivor genre because I think that as someone who really loves twin stick shooters, there's a lot of commonality that
Sure.
exists, in these. So I have three survivors games that I have checked out with varying degrees or time, I should say, amount of time. The one that I played the shortest is 20 minutes till dawn. This is kind of uh, somebody will probably correct me and that's fine, but I feel like this was one of those games that like once Vampire Survivors came on and then this genre started to explode, like 20 minutes till dawn I think was one of those first kind of games that came out that also was doing the formula but in a really nice way. The thing with 20 minutes till dawn that's a little bit different is that you do have to shoot. So like, or maybe you can turn it on auto, I don't know, I have not, but you do like hit the right trigger to actually shoot your weapon. Um, and it does do the thing. I think it seems at least that when you fully like use all the ammo in your weapon, it takes a little bit longer to reload. Or if you use most of it but then stop, like you reload a little bit faster.
Yeah,
But it's doing the same thing, right? You're going around, you're trying to survive as long as you can, upgrading your character. A ton of characters to unlock, a ton of upgrades for your character. A really kind of cool art style for this one. It's kind of a muted color palette. Um, and just like this kind of like dreary like witch hunty time. It's kind of what it feels like while you're playing it as you're going through. What is curious is this is where like Steam reviews like absolutely crack me up. This game is like $5. It's
yeah.
like super cheap. And there are people who have like 100 hours in the game, and they have like recently reviewed the game as like with a thumbs down because they're like the game's been abandoned, like nothing's been updated for a year. I'm like, you have over 100 hours in a $5 game. Like, what do you want? Like, what the heck? Like, how is that? Like, I just don't understand because the developer, I think, is a solo developer, a very small team, is like working has a new game coming out soonish.
Yeah.
So like that's where their attention is focused. I'm just like, what are we doing, people? Like,
Should be able
thumbs
to punish
down.
people like that.
Yeah, I just like it's not like I have had no issues. I've had no bugs. I've had no like. There's not like there's anything that's like preventing you from fully playing and experiencing the game that maybe they should be fixing. And like, yeah, maybe you want more content. That's fine. But like, you paid $5 to put it over 100 hours in. Like, I think you got your money's worth. Like,
Yeah.
anyway, so that's one. Another one that I've been playing is Bone Razor Minions. Kind of when you go through like what are like the quote unquote best survivors games, 20 Minutes Till Dawn and Bone Racer Minions often come up. Bone Racer Minions is a little bit different in the sense of rather than you being the one who's doing the shooting, you kind of play as a necromancer who is bringing back these other characters that are fighting on your behalf. So every time
Gotcha.
that you are, kind of leveling up, you are like raising a new minion or upgrading a minion you've already raised or something like that. What this one does that's a little bit unique to it as well. It's like a pixel art game. But B, when you're fighting, like at least like in the first level, there's multiple stages you can be in. Like you're fighting like in a graveyard, right? Like outside of a church, but you can like upgrade the tombstones to do different things for you. So like you're able to kind of upgrade the actual playing surface, like
Like a tower
field that you're.
defense kind of thing.
Yeah, so you can do it so that they like will like when you walk through it'll like explode and it'll like put down like a sticky surface so it like slows down the other minions,
Yeah.
or like it'll heal you when you walk by it, or like whatever. So you're kind of able to like strategize, is another layer of strategy you're putting on as you're going through. Um and that, but then it's like one more thing to think about as far as your upgrades go, right? Because you're like, again, like all these games, you can like invest your currency into upgrade. And so it's like one more thing you're upgrading. Again, tons of different types of necromancers you can have with different abilities that you can then unlock as you go. The other thing that this does that's kind of neat is, in addition to upgrading your abilities, well, upgrading like my physical like shooting, defense, health, it also, you can actually add abilities to your character, but then also you can upgrade waves of enemies that will show up, which are more challenging but then give you better benefits. They give you like more resources.
Yeah.
So it's this kind of all of these things that you're managing as far as your upgrades go, of like not only upgrading the actual level that you're going to be playing on to be advantageous for you, and upgrading your character, upgrading your abilities, but then also upgrading kind of the enemies that you're going to be facing. So it's this really kind of interesting mix of all of these things. Again, super cheap game, hours and hours and hours of fun. But Bone Ranger Minions, again, I'm enjoying it.
Nice.
The final one that I've been playing is the newest one of these, and I've never played a Temtem game before, but
Yeah.
Temtem Swarm just came out. I think maybe like even just like a few days ago.
Yeah. A couple of days ago. Yeah.
Yeah, so Temtem Swarm is Temtem's take on Survivors games. This is, of all of the three, the one that definitely has like the most kind of mixed reception so far. It is new, but it has kind of all of the trappings of a typical Survivors game. You have, in this case, you have different Temtem that you use. You can upgrade those Temtem individually, but then also, you're unlocking weapons, and the Temtem, uh, one of them is like, one's an earth, one's electricity, one's like a fire, right? They have different abilities and things that they're working with. What is a little unique in this one is that to unlock the additional Temtem, it's kind of like, since it's like a creature catcher game, like um eggs will show up like in your mission or while you're playing, and then you have to pick up the egg, and the egg has a certain amount of health, and it kind of trails behind you, and you have to like protect the egg for 3 minutes basically
Uh,
to allow it to hatch.
yeah.
um which is fine. It's a way to make that work in this type of a game.
Hmm.
What I will say about this is the one of the three that I probably like the least so far, but it is the one I've been playing the most, because I've been trying to figure out if it will get quote unquote better over time. Because if you read reviews for this game of people who've played it, the one thing that they're going to complain about is, well, you're doing the same thing all the time. Well, you do that in like every video game, right?
Every
You're doing
game.
the same thing all the time. It's just whether that same thing is fun or not.
Yeah.
But what is I have noticed about this game is, no matter how much I upgrade my Temtem, I never feel that powerful.
Right.
And that is kind of a hallmark of these games, is you often will get to a point, like especially like Vampire Survivors, where you could literally just stand still
Yep.
and just destroy everything. And that has not happened in Temtem. And maybe I have to fully upgrade the characters for that to happen. But so far, I have never felt powerful while playing the game. No matter how much I've upgraded things, no matter how many times I've evolved my Temtem during a run, no matter how much I've upgraded the weapons, no matter how much I've gotten like, oh, now I have like this special weapon because I have these two abilities that I combine. Like, no matter how much of that I've done, I've yet to feel powerful.
Yeah.
And I think that is kind of the drawback of the game right now. And maybe it'll get there eventually. And I think that's why I keep playing it, because I'm wanting to see if it gets to that point. But that for me is the drawback of that even in Bone Ranger Minions at 20 Minutes Till Dawn, with how little I've played, there were points where I'm like, oh, I get it. Like, I see where I'm supposed to be going and like how I'm supposed to be getting there. But in Temtem Swarm, like one of the Temtem, I'm like, this thing sucks. Like, I'm like, why would I ever want to use this one? Like,
Yeah.
it's just not good. It doesn't feel good to play. So yeah, and the other challenge with that one is that, and other games I think have figured this out better, that yes, you get your random assortment of things to pick from when you level up. Like, you'll have a character who's like, oh, um my start weapon is water, I do additional damage with water, and I, blah blah blah, water. But then like everything they get, like it's like impossible to ever get another water thing.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And so it's like maybe you want to wait it a little bit more so that they're getting them right, like because you're just like I'm like not taking another weapon, quote unquote weapon or technique, I think they call them, because I just want a water one, and I just cannot get a water one for
Yeah.
the life
That
of me.
happened in that Ninja Turtles Splinter Fate game a lot.
Yeah.
You have this like power up you wanted to focus on, but then never get it in the
Hmm.
draws.
Yeah, and and I know that being flexible in these situations is important, but some of them, like for instance, um, Deep Drop Galactic Survivors, not to like, but
Yeah.
like your individual, the dwarves that you have that you go in with. Yes, some of them do like faster reload on like heavy weapons, but most of their abilities are like you can mine faster and gain extra XP, right? Like they're universally good things
Yeah.
that like will still influence how you play a little bit, right? Whereas like for like this Temtem game, it's like, well, no, I'm the one who does really, really good with physical damage. So if none of the spells I'm getting or none of the techniques are physical damage, well, now what do I do? Right? Like
Yeah.
I just feel like I'm putting myself behind. So anyway, that's Temtem Swarm. It's cheap. It is like cheap. It's like excuse me, under $15. But not, $5 like 20 Missile Dawn is. But it isn't super expensive. I think if you like the genre, I think it's a good one to go through. If you really like Temtem, I think you'd probably have a great time. But right now, it's not like the first one I would recommend to people.
Sure.
So yeah. All right, and then Josh, we played Toxic Commando.
We did.
Finally, after a month after it came out, we finally sat down. Other than playing the beta, played Toxic Commando. I know we've talked about this a little bit before, but
Yeah.
we finally got to go to the second mission. Toxic
Yes.
Commando co-op multiplayer. It kind of like Left 4 Dead. Going out, shooting some stuff, driving some vehicles, doing our missions, kind of paying attention to a story. But Josh, what were your thoughts of a couple hours of playing Toxic Commando together?
Yeah, I mean, I think we kind of talked about that. We talked about this when we played the beta, and yeah, it's essentially just what I just what I want from it. It's a fun
Yeah.
little, it's enough Left for Dead that it's familiar, but it's enough different that it's not like feeling like a copy.
Mm-hmm.
I think it does have some aspects of um it's not Helldivers because people like try to combine those things. It's
Yeah.
not really Helldivers, but
No.
it's one map like Helldivers that has things you can do on it. That's about as close to as Helldivers as it can get.
Yeah.
It's very much not the same type of
No.
game, but I still think the shooting feels great. The sense of chaos is there, and that's exciting because you never know what's going to get thrown at you.
Yeah.
And it's fun. And so far, it's just Kyle and I with some bots, but
Mm-hmm.
I can imagine it being more fun with more people as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know, not too much more to say on it other than that we played it more. Did you have any revelations while we were playing?
It is one of those, and I don't. I'm not being dismissive of the game, because I think this is important, but it's just fun, right? Like
Yeah,
I don't know that it's a great, quote unquote, great game,
right.
but it's fun. There are way other games that I would play this before. Like if I'm just wanting to sit down and have a great time, like I think Toxic Commando is like a great way to do that.
Yeah,
The reviews for it actually kind of surprised me, and this is where maybe this will transition to our next topic. Like I think the reviews for this game are super low for what the game is, and
yeah,
maybe the quote unquote end game isn't worth it. But man, the grind seems insane anyway. It seems like you have so much you could do and so many things you could do
yeah,
that I feel like it should be worth it. And the shooting is really fun. Like it's not bad shooting. It's not like this game where you're trying to go through and you're like, oh, it feels crappy to play. Like it feels good to play.
yeah,
Shooting things feel good. The guns feel weighty. Like I didn't really have any issues at all that at least that I experienced in our kind of night of it, of like having issues with hit detection. I felt like powerful but not overpowered, right? Like in
yeah,
small circumstances I was like, we got this, no problem. But when things got hairy, like things genuinely got hairy, I was like, oh
yeah,
shoot, like I don't know that we're gonna be able to shoot our ways out of this. But you're able to, right? Like it is a pretty good balance of just giving you enough. And maybe if we had all four human players, maybe it would have been easier, I don't know. um but yeah, I think it's good. I'm really surprised at the response to it. I worry that this is a game that's kind of quote unquote dead on the vine. Like I don't see
yeah.
anyone else talking about it. So
That's true. And it's only $30, like 30, $40 now. So like it's well worth it value wise too.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, what I want to do here is check Open Critic. Josh, what do you think the Open Critic for John Carpenter's Toxic Commando is right now?
So like a 68 or something like that.
It's a 73.
Oh, that's yeah, okay.
But 54% of critics recommend it.
Huh. So yeah, well, that's interesting.
Yeah. I think maybe the 73 is right. Maybe like a 75-ish, right? Like,
Yeah,
it like would feel good. But I just, man, I don't know. Like, if you're looking for a chill night, game night with your friends, I feel like you can do way, way, way worse than Toxic Commando, which is maybe isn't the highest praise, but
yeah,
man, I think it's a pretty good time.
I would agree. There's also a game coming out called Abyssus that I'm really interested in getting us.
Mm.
And that's like a rogue like shooter.
When does that come out?
I think it's already on PC. I
Right.
think it's coming out on consoles soon.
Gotcha.
But I'm also playing Dead Zone Rogue on the Switch too, which is a roguelike first person shooter. Um, and that's pretty fun. That's kind of like it's like a budget title, you know, it's not like a full-fledged uh game, but
Mm.
well, it is though. It's a full game. I don't mean I'm sounding dismissive. Uh it's a full game. It's just a little like it feels more like a swap fire than maybe like a full on shooter. Like I
Mm.
don't know. My brain is rotted right now. It's not like Borderlands. It's like a lower budget shooter, but it's still pretty fun as far as a rogue. I haven't played a lot of rogue like shooters, so
Right.
it is interesting. But I did play the Abyssus demo when it came out on PC. I just don't know when it's coming out on console.
Gotcha. The one game, a game that's in early access right now that I'm interested in. Are you familiar with Morbid Metal?
Morbid Metal, no.
Yeah, it's in early access on PC. It's a 3D action roguelike.
Yeah.
It looks pretty cool. Like I don't like I don't know. I don't know that I would want to play it on my Steam Deck, which is why I have not picked it up. It kind of looks like a little
Oh,
more actiony, or kind of like a in a Saros vein a little bit.
yeah.
But yeah, it looks kind of cool. So yeah,
Screen Juice.
screen juice. Yeah. So anyway,
Those
but
are
hey, we're gonna
cool.
talk about more games we're interested in the future
Yeah.
soon. But okay, well, I'm just gonna interject this really quick. Josh, we talked about how things are about to get like kind of bonkers for game releases. Do you
Yeah.
realize how bonkers things are about to get?
No.
Here we go. So we're recording on April 12th, right? So and this will be out on April 14th. So the day this posts, Replaced comes out on Xbox. Hades 2 finally hits, well, and probably PC. But Hades 2 finally comes to other consoles other than the Switch.
Yeah.
On April 16th, Mouse PI for Hire comes out, along with Tamagotchi Life, Living the Dream, if you want to play that on Switch. April 17th is Pragmata. I think I was always saying Pragmata, but I think it's actually Pragmata. Maybe.
Okay. I don't know if anyone's going to hold you to that one.
Yeah. I don't know if I'll remember that. And Josh, for you on April 20th, Jay and Silent Bob Chronic Blunt Punch comes out.
Oh.
April 21st, Vampire Crawlers comes out.
Oh yeah.
April 22nd, that really weird Tides of Tomorrow game comes out, which looks kind of interesting potentially.
Is that the Cthulhu one?
That is the
Because
where you're
that
like
looks really good to me.
the Cthulhu one.
Yeah.
Wait, which Cthulhu one are you talking about? The Cthulhu the Cosmic Abyss.
That's the one. Yeah.
That also. Oh, I missed that. Yeah, because that comes out on the 16th. So
Oh boy.
no, Ties of Tomorrow is like it was in like a PlayStation State of Play like a year ago, I think, or
Okay.
last summer. But basically, it's a single player narrative game, but it's multiplayer in the sense that you can see like what the decisions your friends made, and you can decide to go and make the same decisions as them or make different decisions.
Oh, okay.
So like the decisions that you and other people make kind of like lay out and change like what the results of the game might be for you.
Yeah.
Might be great, might be horrible, who knows. But then on April 28th, like you said, the Diablo 4 DLC comes along with Aphelion, which we'll see if that game's any good. It could be, but that comes out. And then April 30th is Saros, is Invincible Versus, is So like the next 2 weeks are just insane releases of games.
Yeah.
I don't know how I'm going to play any of them, but I'm going to try. I'm Soup's going to try. Oh, and Masters of Albion comes out because you really want to play that new Peter Molyneux game, right?
No, I don't know. I have like no interest in it. Well, I'll check it out when it comes out.
Yeah.
There is a demo for that Cthulhu Cosmic Abyss though, so I'm definitely going to download that and try that.
Awesome. All right, Josh, well, you had another topic you wanted us to talk about.
We can talk about it.
It'll be short, I think, potentially.
So I was talking to Kyle before we were recording. I couldn't really commit to this topic, so we talked about it, and Kyle said it's still good, so go for it. So, really, just talking about early reviews versus, I said half-baked games, and I think that's probably obviously not an accurate and probably more of a slight to any game developer. So say games released, which then have their final versions, we'll say altered or patched, if you will. So like specifically seeing a lot of stories about the new Pokemon game that just came out, Champions.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a whole big thing. I didn't really know too much about this, but I was watching, they released some videos on it, and I was watching it with my son, and they're talking about how you have to like transfer your Pokemon into the game to use them, or you can just like lease their versions of Pokemon. And you can bring them in from Pokemon Go or from Pokemon. Ooh, forgive me, because I don't remember which one. Is it like Scarlet and Violet, or it's one of the Pokemon games as well. I don't know enough about Pokemon to know. Even though I did watch the video. And then they also like let you connect them. So like one of the things I was reading is of course clickbait articles. Mm-hmm. The diehard Pokemon fans are uninstalling Pokemon Champions 2 hours after downloading it. And it was kind of true. That's kind of what happened. All these people downloaded this game, and they were like, you get a lot of the comments like, did they even play test this? It's full of microtransactions. It's broken. It's losing people's Pokemons from their games. That's a big
rough.
one.
Yeah, that's rough.
So there's a lot of criticism about that. And then something I've been thinking about also recently is I'm seeing a lot of these things where a gamer group, they wait until a game that they're excited about gets a bad review, and then they very quickly find a different game that got a higher review and use it as a comparison to try to prove like Kotaku can't write articles.
Right. Yep.
And like there's so many other reasons you could find that Kotaku shouldn't write articles. You don't need to go after them giving Crimson Desert a 65 and then giving Pokemon Pokopia a 98. They're two very different games and two very different reviewers, most likely.
Right.
It could have been the same reviewer, but I just I don't love that. And I do think like we do see games like a lot of Ubisoft titles and Crimson Desert right now, which kind of actually does feel like a Ubisoft game when you're playing it.
Yeah.
Where they are able to patch these things based off of fans playing it, and they don't necessarily benefit from a beta, like a public beta, because a lot of those games, at least for Crimson Desert, it's all story. It would be like they'd have to unbuild the game to put out a demo that didn't have a quest line.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't want to put that game out into the public for them to try the game. And I know I've been pretty critical of Ubisoft in the past with games like Assassin's Creed Unity,
Yeah.
and Brotherhood. Um, so yeah, I guess really what is the conversation here? It's really just, are we expected as gamers? Are we expected to have a review available to us on a release date of a game, or should we be living in a time where the reviewers should be reviewing the game when it comes out and we wait? How does that? I know just like a tough balancing act, because then if you're
Yeah.
Ubisoft, you don't want to not give someone your game to review it because you want people to buy your game.
Right. Well, that's the big thing, right?
Right.
Though I don't know that you and I really fall much into this group, but there are a lot of people who use reviews to help them make purchasing decisions, right? So
Correct.
you want to have that review in time for that person to make the purchasing decision. And I do think that reviewing the game, if it is going to be an accurate representation of what the game is when the person buys it, I think that's fine. Like I do think that having reviews on release day is good, because I do think that there is overall the benefit outweighs the bad there.
Sure.
Okay. What I will say though is, unlike other forms of media, almost never is a game the game that is released on January 1st, 2024 almost always is a different game on January 1st, 2025.
Yeah.
And to me, and I know that only that all the traffic happens and all the hype happens for the first one, like when things release initially, but I do think it would be good practice for sites to re-review games, because that would be a more accurate representation. If someone was going to buy the game then,
Correct.
that they would have a more accurate representation, right? This isn't such a concern for movies, right? Because unless you're George Lucas, you're probably not changing your movies really, right? Like
Yeah.
the movie's not going to really change per se. Same with TV, same with books, right? Yeah, sure, maybe there's some extra features, a couple extra minutes here or there, but for the most part, what you see is what you get, right?
Yeah.
Not much is changing there, but that's just not true for games. So I do think that reviews should exist right away, but I also think that we should, I don't know, in some ways, like encourage or embrace the idea of re-reviewing things, and then having kind of like a running, like, hey, review score as of like release, review score as of 6 months, or like major patch, like whatever it might be, right? Because obviously,
Yeah.
like when Starfield came out for PS5, there was a big push of like, hey, this is not Starfield 2.0. That's fine, but hey, but what is the game today, right? Should we have a new review score for Starfield?
Yeah.
Even, yes, you have the PS5 score now, but even separate from that, like if you're jumping in on PC now with all the new stuff they added, did it break the PC version? Does the PC version not run suddenly, right? Like I don't know,
Yeah.
right? I do feel we should embrace that. The challenge being, again, recognizing I'm sure that does not, I cannot imagine that there would be a return on investment there. Right? Like I don't think that the companies who are paying people to review games are going to see enough traffic for those re-reviews. But maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah. I don't know. I think my camera's frozen for you, isn't
It is frozen for me, yeah.
it?
It's okay. You're just looking very quizzical at me the whole time, so it's fine.
Just staring at the monitor. Yeah.
Anything else you want to say about reviews of games, Josh?
No, I think you're right. It just kind of it makes me wonder when we talk about games, when we look at games like High Guard and Concord, and like
Yeah.
what went wrong there that they couldn't even get the chance to become a new game, versus games like Apex that are still around and things like that. Obviously, it needs an audience, but
Yeah.
it just always makes me curious what could have been.
Well, all right, Josh. Area that doesn't probably need re-reviews is the world of board games. That, yes, expansions come out, but the base games still tend to stay the same unless they release a second edition, which then does get
Yeah,
re-reviewed. So they kind of solve that problem. But the kind folks that over at ICV2 did a breakdown of the hobby games in 2025, and what they found was, hey, actually 2025 in board game or in hobby games, big growth. According to their estimates, again, this is over at ICV2, the hobby games market grew 40%
Wow.
to 3.66 billion in 2025, according to ICV2 estimates, with strong consumer demand overcoming the impacts of major disruptions, including tariffs and a distributor bankruptcy. All right, Josh. So before we read anything else, surprised, not surprised. What's your reaction to the fact that the hobby games market grew 40% in 2025?
Yeah, I'm very surprised because it doesn't feel like it.
I would agree. So, Josh, here's the next part. While sales in 3 of 4 hobby games categories were flat or showed modest growth, TCGs were up dramatically despite already retaining much of the growth the category experienced during the COVID pandemic. The differences in growth rates brought TCGs to a new high in share of businesses, or in share of business. TCGs now account for roughly 2/3 of hobby games dollars.
Yikes.
Josh, how does that make you feel?
Sad.
Oh,
That's
man.
not good. That's
Yeah.
just emboldening the scalpers.
Yep. That's really kind of the big thing here, is that if you read the whole article, which I encourage you if you're interested to go read, the big thing that stands out here is that, yeah, there was significant growth, but almost all of that really was just because of TCGs. Like,
Yeah.
that is where the vast majority of growth came. What is kind of curious, though, is that TCGs grew considerably in 2025, like 32%. But in 2024 and 2023, they were only up 2% each year. So
Yeah,
they
that
like
is so
exploded
weird.
in 2025, like went way, way up.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me, that was the hobby channel as a whole. So the hobby channel grew 2% in 2024 and 2023
Yeah.
compared to 32% this year. So, like, you know,
That's
knowing that
huge.
TCGs drove that growth, like, clearly, like, whew, I mean, they must be, those scalpers, yeah, must be like doing way more than I thought they were. Because I don't know, maybe I'm lucky in my area, just being in the smaller area. Like, I have no problems going in and buying Pokemon cards if I wanted to.
Yeah, I can't. You're very lucky.
Okay, is that not an option for you?
It's almost impossible to find them.
Man, what?
If even any pack,
That,
people, our CVSs are out, our Walgreens are out. You can't find them at Target. They don't stock them on the shelf really at Walmart because they're gone the second they hit the shelf.
because at your stores, are they mostly using the vending machines now?
We don't have vending machines. We have
Oh, they
like
don't have the
one
vending
in the
things either.
entire state.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, because we don't really have them either. Like, ours are just, yeah, on the shelves.
Yeah, no,
So
these are all, that third party vendor, the MJ Holdings company,
gotcha.
who put them out.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And you have to get like, there's people that like, there's a guy that works for me who bought a membership to a different, to Costco or Sam's Club just because there aren't any in the area, just so they can get the Pokemon cards at Costco.
Wow. Dang.
Yeah.
Whew.
It's wild.
That is wild. So this, Josh, the question I have then, are TCGs the free to play games of the board game of the hobby game world?
No.
Because they're not free, but I feel like everyone's like chasing like that TCG, right? Everyone's chasing TCG money.
I
The
think
same way everyone
TCG
is.
has turned into something different. It's collectible instead. It's
Yeah.
turned into a collectible hobby instead of
A playing.
a playing hobby.
Yeah.
And that's really like when I have a new guy at work and I overheard him talking about Lorcana.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Oh, you play Lorcana?" He's like, "No, I just
Collect it.
collect the sets and I try not to open anything I buy." I'm like, "Oh," because he's like, "Because it's Disney."
Yeah.
And it's like printing gold, and I'm like, sometimes, and it might be, but it's not how it's a tough. I'm collecting like the Marvel, the Spider-Man magic cards.
Yeah.
But I put them in a really nice binder I got.
Yeah.
Which is up somewhere, and I have them numbered, so I'm gonna start buying like singles
Mm-hmm.
to try to get the set, like the same with the Lord of the Rings ones, and I'm doing that with the Ninja Turtle ones now too.
Gotcha.
And it's still fun to crack packs. That's really what what it really has become. And now we just buy, like, my son gets Star Wars Unlimited cards because we can't find Pokemon cards anywhere, and he likes Star Wars now. So
yeah,
it's still fun, but it's just not for me. It's not the TCGs I knew in my teens and 20s.
Yeah. I mean, when I was playing Magic heavily, like people would buy a lot of cards, but that was because they like, yeah, and part of it was like, hey, if there's a, get some chase rares that I can maybe like cash in. But for most people, it was like, I need 4 of a card to make a deck, so I need a
Yeah.
lot of cards, right? It wasn't
Yeah.
like, so and I do think that started changing while I was playing, and I think now very clearly, especially in Pokemon and things like that. Like, I feel like most people who are purchasing cards are not playing with the cards
Yeah.
they're purchasing.
I
So
think you're right. Yeah.
yeah. All right. Well, hey, hobby gaming is growing. Thanks to TCGs and not thanks to anything else for the most part. So, all right, Josh. Our final topic for the evening is the Triple I Initiative, which has quietly become really one of the best places to check out hot indie games
Yeah.
and see where the industry is going. They did an installment this last week where they showed off 40 games, and I wonder, hey, Josh, did you watch the Triple I Initiative at all? And if not, why not? And B, if so, did any of the games interest you?
I did watch it.
Nice.
I didn't know what it was though.
Okay.
It just popped up in my feed as like premiering like tomorrow, and I caught it. I caught it when it was
Yeah.
premiering. And yeah, I mean, it really kind of reminds me of like the PC Gamer Showcase for E3. So, it was a fun watch. I really appreciated the like, hey, this is just like a screen for you to take a break real quick, and we're gonna get right back to it. And like, oh, we're doing it again. So yeah, I thought it was a good showcase.
Yeah. Any particular standouts for you, sir?
There was a few. I mean, I really um was interested in whatever this machine party is going to be. It feels like it's like a pummel party esque
Yeah.
kind of game.
Yeah.
With like the co-op slot games as they call them.
Yeah.
It looked interesting.
It's like horror Mario Party.
Yeah, horror
Yeah.
Mario Party. Yeah, that's a good way to describe it as well. Yeah, shoot, there's a bunch of stuff I was interested in, and there's just so many to look at. I actually am way more interested in Windrose now than I was before.
That showed really well, I feel like.
Yeah, I think it looks like what I want. It looks like what I want it to look like.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like a little bit of like the Sid Meier's pirate game. So I'm very curious to check it out.
I think what Windrose looks like is what we all wanted Skull and Bones to be.
Yeah, I agree with you there too. So there's still potential that it might be as bad as Skull and Bones.
It could be. But hey, early access starts the day this podcast comes out. So
oh, that's right. Yeah. So, and my son would love to play that. I thought Warhammer Survivors was pretty funny.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm curious to try that out. And speaking of you playing Temtem, I'm kind of curious what that Temtem Pioneers game is. Is it really just Pal World ripoff?
Yeah, it's a great question. It does seem that we have a lot of games that are just trying, which I don't think is a bad thing necessarily. Of right, like here is like Temtem being like, okay, here's a Temtem game in as a Pokemon. Here's a Temtem as a Survivors.
Yeah.
Here's a Temtem as a survival game. Like here's a like I think just using that in all the different. I don't think it's necessarily a bad idea.
Yeah, I think you're right. It probably isn't bad. People make me think I want to think it's bad.
That's fair. But I guess and maybe this is bad. I don't know, because right, would you be more or less interested in the game? And maybe you wouldn't since it's an IP you don't care about. Maybe it wouldn't matter. Yeah. But like, if it was like brand new game from the Temtem developer, like right, would that do more or less for you?
Yeah, no.
Right. So it's like, well, if you have no buy into the Temtem universe already,
yeah,
it doesn't really matter. But I guess if you were like anti Temtem, that'd be bad.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I did feel like there were a lot of, and again, whether or not you love the term, I don't know. I felt like there was a lot of friend slop games, a lot of games just to like hang out with friends, and not all of them as like necessarily friend sloppy per se, but like a lot of games like, hey, let's hang out together in this thing.
Yes, I agree. and I like that.
Yeah,
There's so
I don't think
many.
it's bad at all.
Lost Highway was one of those ones too. Lost Railway, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Totally different thing.
Yeah, totally different thing, but well, maybe more similar, I guess. Well, we'll see.
Maybe.
That was very quirky and weird looking. The what was the typing game?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Final Sentence.
Yeah. The final sentence was a little
That was intense.
yeah.
Which what basically a Squid Game, I think. So I'm looking at the Game Informer article about it.
Yeah.
This Squid Game esque battle royale sees players trapped in a hangar with only a typewriter in front of them and an armed goon next to them. Surviving means typing quickly and correctly. Make a mistake and you'll be shot and eliminated. Like,
Yeah, it's crazy.
that's crazy, super crazy.
Yeah. Dead as Disco, I didn't think I would be interested in it, but after
Mm-hmm.
watching that trailer,
Yeah,
it really had me wanting to try it as well.
yeah. I think the rhythm based action games, like with Hi-Fi Rush, with how much everyone loved that game, I thought we'd get more
Right.
since then than we have, and we just haven't. So, having Dead as Disco kind of be that rhythm based action game, yeah, I'm in. Let's check it out. Let's see it.
Yeah. What else?
So,
What for you besides those ones?
so I actually, I mean, it's been a hot minute since I played it, but I mean, on PlayStation, I technically have the platinum in Brotato. So the new Frotato DLC. There, I've played their that studio's recent game. Noobs Are Coming. I think that's what it's called.
Okay, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that's them. Which is an interesting kind of take on the same genre as well. But I'm always down for more Brotato. It just is such a straightforward approach, but it's a really fun way to kind of experience that survival style game. So I think it's great. Obviously, I'm actually still, I don't really ever talk about it. I'm still working my way through Cairn. I haven't finished it yet because I only play it for like 20 minutes at a shot, like once a week.
Yeah.
But the fact that they have free DLC coming this summer, I think is cool. I really am looking forward to this new Castlevania game, Belmont's Curse.
I think it won me over
Did it?
watching this one. Yeah.
Anything in particular that won you over about it? Because like I love Dead Cells, but
Yeah.
is anything in particular win you over about it?
It did look well. That part specifically, it looked like more of a blend of Dead Cells into
Mm-hmm.
Castlevania. So I did think that looked really good.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about the crop game, but I think it's a good name for a game.
Yeah.
I'm just like scrolling through here. There was so many games.
Yeah, that Alacast,
Oh yeah.
Alcahest, they kind of looked like almost like a Hexa kind of game.
Mm-hmm.
That looked interesting.
Yeah. Shoot.
Not Hexic, Hexen. Hexic is the cube game.
Yes, Hexen. Yes. I did think that, and I know we saw it before, but I think Valor Mortis still looks really interesting.
Yeah.
We'll see if the Ghost Runner devs can make it happen, but it's still looking very cool. Yeah, it just, I don't know. I don't know. There were very few games that I was like, nope, not for me. There were some that I was like, oh, that's interesting, or I'm not, like, oh, that's cool for someone.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was a really like good show.
Yep.
I thought it was a pretty tight 45 minutes. I didn't really ever lose my interest while I was watching it. Like, and even if like a game wasn't for me, the fact that it was 40 games in 45 minutes meant that for the most part, it
Yeah.
was pretty much on to the next one pretty quickly. Which is neat. But what did you think of the show overall? Like, were you pleased? Did you think it was a good show? Like, are you going to try to make sure you're watching these in the future? What were your thoughts?
Yeah, I thought it was great. I think you're right. I think like everything felt good.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it was a game I wasn't interested in, it was like a new look at something or like a new take on a game.
Right.
And I was genuinely interested in everything I watched, even just to see what it was like all about. Like, where it's like, oh, would my wife like this? Or would my son like this?
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought it was great and great. Just it's like almost like just a little long, but almost like the perfect time, like 40 minutes. Is perfect. Showed a lot of games. Didn't really get into it too much, but kind of was like, speaking of like that Muppet puppet game, I'm like, oh, I have to play this.
Oh, right, yeah.
That's another friend slap game, but you guys
Yep.
Muppets instead. It looks really funny.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um, so yeah, I thought it was great. More of that.
More of that, please. All right. Well, with that, Josh, why don't we move towards wrapping the show up with a little post game celebration? Hey,
Yeah.
what would you recommend that our listeners check out this week?
So Taskmaster is back. I talked about this last year because Jason Mantzoukas was on it, and he was very funny, and he was the only American on. And again, now we have a, a not native to. That's not right either. Oh boy, uh, Kumail Nanjiani is filling in as the American on this season.
Gotcha.
Um, and only the first episode is out, but if you it's on YouTube because it's on BBC normally. I believe it's BBC
Mm-hmm.
or maybe BBC Two. So they air it on YouTube the same day, I believe. Also, like leading up to this season, they did put out interviews that like happen in the show but don't that aren't played during the show, if that makes
Mm-hmm.
sense. So you can go watch like a little snippet interviews with all the contestants too before watching it. But you don't need, it's you don't have to be a fan of British TV to like it. It's just really funny people doing funny things. They're not all comedians either, so sometimes it's not intentionally funny.
Right.
Um, but it's just like it's become one of my new like favorite. Like it's not even like it feels weird calling it a game show. I
Yeah.
mean, it very much is a game
Yeah.
show, but um, it's just a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah.
So that's my recommendation: Taskmaster on YouTube.
Awesome. My recommendation is going to be it doesn't necessarily have to be a sport, but I put find a niche sport. Find a thing that's pretty niche that you enjoy. I think games can be, but I think games like are pretty like people just know games pretty much at this point.
Yeah.
So for the example I like to use is like I'm a big fan of professional cycling. So, and today on April 12th was Paris Roubaix, which is like the biggest like classic, spring classic of bike races. And Walt Van Aert won, who he's finished second, third, and fourth in the past. So he finally won for the first time since he's raced the race. It's like 2018. He was like everyone was super happy, and he beat like Tadej Pogacar, who's now finished second the last 2 years in a row. But Tadej Pogacar is like has won the last couple Tour de France's. He's won 4 Tour de France's total. But like the fact that he even does these spring classics is like a big deal because most people who do stage races don't really celebrate or participate in these spring classic races because they're so challenging and demanding. And what's kind of crazy is that the winning time for the race today was 5 hours 16 minutes and 52 seconds, but the person who finished in second, Tadej Pogacar, had the exact same time because he won a sprint victory and finished within 2 seconds. So and the way in cycling works, if you finish within like there, as long as there's no like second between when you cross the next person, you all get the same time. So over 5 hours of racing, and they still had the same time.
Uh-huh.
Like and what's kind of like nuts about like Paris Roubaix and why it's such a big deal is that they go over. It's basically a cobblestone race. So like yes, a part of it's on
Ooh,
roads, but a lot of it is on cobblestones in the French countryside, which just absolutely like
yikes!
decimates people's bikes. Like there's so many mechanical
And their
issues.
backs.
Yeah, exactly. Their backs, their hands just look like absolute. And after 5 hours of riding, on cobbles, like it's
Yikes!
just it's nuts. So it's just like really like this cool thing to like get really in. And it's funny because I was telling my partner about the race today and kind of the results of it and stuff, and she's like, that's nice. Like it's just like like she's very nice and very kind, but it really just kind of getting in like the minutia of like understanding something on a level that like not a lot of people do. Like it's just fun to like be able to be like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. So just find that thing for you. And like I said, it doesn't have to be a sport. It can be like a certain like type of book. Like there's so many things that you can do, but like find your niche, find your thing, find the cool little thing that you know a lot about, and that you're really excited about. Because yeah, it could definitely help bring joy to your life. So find your niche, whether it be a sport or something else. So with that, Josh, what do you say we wrap this show up?
Sure. Let's do that. Thanks for joining us, everyone. As a reminder, you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/boardwithvg, on Instagram at boardwithvg, and via email at boardwithvg@gmail.com. Whatever podcast service you're listening to us on, we encourage you to give us a 5-star rating as it helps other people discover our podcast. You can find me on all of the things at Why So Serious. SIRRIUS. Come play Toxic Commando with us.
Heck yeah.
Kyle, where can people find you?
So you can find me on Instagram, PlayStation Network, Xbox Live, Board Game Geek, all at Cyclocross, CYCOCROSS. As always, if you have suggestions for future topics, be sure to reach out to us on social media or via email, because we want to talk about what you want to hear about. And remember, whether it be board games or video games, never stop gaming.